What's up, guys?
We're back again. This is welcome to our Star Wars show called Vaders Fist. I'm Lucas,
I'm George.
and we're here to talk Star Wars. A lot happening. A lot. You might have heard that there was a little movie called Rogue One coming out, and a trailer just dropped.
Yeah, we have our first teaser trailer, guys. A lot of things happened during that. We got to see who the main character is going to be. Kind of your almost your Han Solo kind of smuggler, criminal kind of character. We have Felicity, the great Felicity Jones, very beautiful Felicity Jones. Kind of going off of the trailer, we see Ben Mendelsohn kind of looking like maybe a not Grand Moff, Grand Admiral, kind of like a head of the Navy, looking very menacing, kind of that badass character that we saw with Tarkin.
Mm-hmm.
We also see kind of your Navy SEAL black troopers. These just kind of look like guys that are, this is like where Vader goes like, okay, I need these guys to like kick some ass, and that was really cool because I mean they look really slick. I like the black. It looks really sweet.
And it gives a nod to Vader because he's wearing all black, and
yeah.
That ties back to his legion called the 501st, aka Vader's Fist. Like how but coming from this trailer, I loved the trailer. I thought that this was one of the best cut trailers I've seen from any movie.
It showed more than the actual. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember. Episode 7 the first teaser trailer came out in like November of 2014, and I remember that it was like maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
This is almost a minute, and it gives a lot more. I mean, if you watch Episode 7's teaser trailer compared to this one, you honestly don't know what the hell is going on.
No, you don't. And
you really don't.
And I love that we got to see. Yeah, everybody's upset that we didn't get to see this guy. Vader.
I'm actually kind of glad we did. We were talking about that earlier. I was kind of glad because I don't think it's a teaser trailer.
It keeps you in suspense. They can do whatever. They've got multiple events that are coming up, like May the 4th.
That's going to be a big one, which is especially for us because that's the end of finals, so we're going to be hanging out. We'll probably do a couple shows that week or something like that. Another thing I want to point out is the hooded figure. We were talking about this earlier. I was like, you made a really good point. I said it can't be Vader, one, because Vader doesn't wear a cape, or he has a cape, but he doesn't wear a hood.
Mm-hmm. And you're absolutely right.
But then again, it's kind of a zoomed out shot as well. So maybe it's not a hood, maybe it's just the top of his helmet. So,
maybe, but and then
he's in that chamber too. So
then again, like we talked about, Rebels ended about 2 weeks ago, so we're already speculating about what's going to happen there, and we could see a Grand Inquisitor that could be Vader's apprentice, and maybe that's Vader's apprentice showing up in the Death Star, and all this.
It's your last brother or sister showing up.
Maybe, but I was very, very impressed with this. I like the tone. I love the way Donnie Yen, the Asian guy with the staff, just kicked the crap out of the stormtroopers.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Oh, it was awesome. He is not very well known in the United States, like in North America, but he's huge in Japan and China.
Very, very good martial artist.
Oh, yeah.
Great with the sword.
I liked Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker's...
Looks like kind of your badass, kind of Rex kind of guy. Kind of hard-ass kind of...
He's been through a lot. You can tell.
He has a cane.
It was phenomenal. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm excited to see more of it, and I'm sure all of you are just waiting till either Star Wars Celebration or maybe they give us another taste of it on May the 4th. You never know. You never know when they're going to drop it, but reminding you that that is a trailer, a teaser trailer. They're not supposed to show you everything. They gave you more than like what The Force Awakens gave you.
One more final thought. We were speculating that maybe even Ben Mendelsohn's character could even be maybe a Grand Admiral Thrawn. If you don't know, he's from Legends. He was a big admiral, and he was actually blue skinned, and it's kind of weird because he had like this slick back haircut. He had a white uniform, and Ben Mendelsohn is wearing it. He has his hair slicked back.
He's got that
and he has a white, clean, and he has the same exact like uniform too.
Yes.
So I mean that's kind of interesting.
And this is the first time you ever see AT-ATs on a tropical setting.
That's
first time in Star Wars we see a tropical setting.
which is
awesome.
very rare. So yeah,
Love it.
I'm gonna think we should move on. What do we think about the Ewan
McGregor?
I think there should only be one movie. I don't. There's rumors that there's gonna be 3 for a trilogy. I just don't think you can fit 3 movies to make up. I don't think you're gonna have enough information.
I think from what he said that he wasn't he couldn't really speak on it. So that means that they're thinking about it. That means that they are in talks. They are in talks of making a movie.
Any Star Wars movie that's gonna come out is gonna make money.
And he said that he had multiple people, directors that he's worked with in the past, pitch an Obi-Wan movie to Disney. So you know that they are thinking about this. And I mean, who else would you want to see as an anthology film? I mean, Obi-Wan was on Tatooine for 20 plus years. What was he doing? We never really get insight into that except for maybe a comic. Maybe
there's a little bit of the comic about him, but it's kind of he just lived a hermit life.
Yeah, and you don't really. It's like,
and this is also when he's kind of he's getting the spiritual side, and there's a rumor, or actually, excuse me, there's kind of a story that this is when he was with Qui-Gon's Force Ghost, getting taught how to become a Force Ghost, and that's why he's so weak, because he's too much in the spiritual side more than the physical.
I can see that.
I mean, yeah, it makes
sense.
And
I mean, I hope Ewan gets a chance at it, because you know what? He was one of the best.
Actor.
He was one of the best parts of the prequels.
He was a very good actor. Yeah.
Everybody loved him as Obi-Wan.
Yeah, in our generation, I mean, we were like, it was either you like in that first movie at least. I mean, because obviously Qui-Gon dies, and then you kind of follow Obi-Wan in the
story.
First and second. I mean, those are like one of my.
It's not just Obi-Wan. It's not just Anakin's story in the prequels. It's also Obi-Wan turning into the Obi-Wan that we know in Episode 4.
Yeah, which was played by Alec
Guinness. And he does a great job. He did a great job in Episode 3, getting his speaking down, the way he moved and stuff like that. I think Ewan, I would absolutely love it.
Oh no, it'd be great. I mean, he's a respectful guy. That dude can grow a beard like no other.
Yeah, I mean, he can do it.
So
he has proven that he can do it. So Ewan, I mean, they've got to give him a chance, because you know what? They're going to sell money on anything that they make. They are going to make money off of it.
Yeah,
I don't care if they have. I will literally buy a ticket to go see a Jawa movie. Let's be real. If it's Star Wars, I'm buying it. I'm going.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's just the curiosity as a hardcore fan. Another thing is, going back to Episode 7, now me and Lucas, Lucas saw the movie 6 times, I saw it 3 times. The third time and his 6th time, we were with some buddies, and we went to this theater, and there's no one in. So we were just being loud, and at the end of the movie, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just say it right now. I think Rey is the reincarnation, and he's like, oh no, she's the son of Luke, and we got into literally a 30-minute screaming match, and then eventually, after a couple weeks, I'm like, I started doing my research, because that's what I do. As soon as I saw the Star Wars movie, I just went to the internet, and I just started researching for like hours. I'm like, okay, there's no way, because it's like you said, it's a Skywalker story. So now she has released to the press that she knows who her character's parents are. So what do we think about that?
I watched that interview. It was after she won the MTV Awards, which, by the way, Star Wars, best film, best villain,
which we kind of expected.
Best actress, best upcoming performance, Daisy Ridley. John Boyega was mentioned for a bunch of stuff. He was mentioned for Rey and Kylo Ren, where their fight scene was also nominated. It was nominated for a lot of stuff, and they came back with a lot of
that fight scene. By the way, we just got this.
The Force Awakens.
You can get it for $24 at Walmart or Target. That fight scene, I actually watched a bonus feature on it. That whole place is actually a set.
Yeah.
It was painted, and then they actually brought in real trees, and they built it up. That is amazing. I have to really give it to Disney and Lucasfilm. That was amazing.
They went back. They did practical effects. That is a practical effect, and it worked out for them.
Oh yeah, let's not get too far off topic.
Let's talk about Rey.
Okay, so Luke, I think that makes kind of sense, because I've had a theory going on that maybe what happened is at that point where I think Rey was actually in the group that that Kylo Ren or Ben Solo was in for the Academy. But I think what happened was, if she's not Luke's daughter, I think she was a youngling for him.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
he wiped
her mind and then dropped her off
somewhere, just like his master did for him.
Kind of.
It would kind of make it would kind of give you that connection to both of the trilogies.
Yeah. But my number one choice is that it's his daughter. It is.
Oh yeah,
his
which
daughter.
either way, I really don't care.
There's so much evidence for either way, but whenever I watch that vision sequence, I'm just like, that. Why?
It was pretty.
Why?
Like, you didn't.
Why would she? Why would it show her these specific things if it weren't gonna bring her to Luke? Then what's the point? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Well, but then again, Luke is the only real Jedi out there. Too. So I mean, that might be why too. You have to kind of think about that too. But yeah, I agree. I somewhat agree with you. I mean, you know, again, it's speculation. We won't know until we see the
Skywalker.
first trailer.
It's a Skywalker story.
Yeah, I mean, it just wouldn't make any sense to go away from that, because you have six movies and that lightsaber belonged to Anakin Skywalker. So then you have another reference to the Skywalkers, plus the main protagonist is part of the Skywalker family.
So I mean, it just
makes sense.
But the one thing that I hate hearing is that, Felicity Jones's character is Rey's mom. No, shave your head and go to sleep. Shave your head and go to sleep. That's not true. It's not nowhere. It wouldn't make sense. And if they did that, it would ruin the whole universe. Their whole thing is making the universe bigger. If you think about it, that would make it smaller. And that's not what you want to do. You want to expand the universe, get ideas from stuff that was happening throughout canon, and put it in somebody else's point of view. And if you do that, you ruin it. You just ruin it. It's not... And plus, like Daisy Ridley said, she's like, just because they look the same doesn't mean that they're related.
Yeah, I mean...
You know? Like, timeline, I don't even know if it might work out.
Actually, I don't think it will, because I think, actually, Felicity Jones... Okay, so, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm thinking Luke Skywalker's probably, like, around New Hope, he's probably, like...
19.
I actually think Felicity Jones is, like,
25,
almost... She's closer to 30 than he is. I think she's a lot older than he is, honestly.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. Going back to Force Awakens and the new movie, I can't talk today, guys. I'm sorry, I really can't. Adam Driver, also known as Kylo Ren / Ben Solo, he actually went out on a limb. He literally said Episode 8 he thinks is darker than Episode 7.
Oh, well, I mean,
we as Star Wars fans, I think we kind of expect that, because they kind of, if you didn't notice, Episode 7 is pretty close to Episode 4, but they kind of used, like, different things.
It was different in a lot of ways, but it was also the same in a lot of ways.
Which, as a Star Wars fan, you kind of like that, because people are so picky. Like, with the prequels, I mean, you can even think it's some of them are secretly brilliant, but people are like, oh, they weren't like the original trilogy, so they're dumb.
Yeah, it's...
You know.
But anyways, I saw the interview, I saw the story of Adam Driver saying that he hasn't been on set yet, which is really surprising to me, because that means that we're not going to see him till probably halfway through. But he's really excited about Rian Johnson. He's read the script. He's done all this stuff, and
apparently
he's just ready to go.
Apparently, it's supposed to. It might be. I've heard rumors that it might even get close to 3 hours more, because I think it was about, Episode 7
2 hours and 18 minutes.
Yeah, so I think actually they said it might push maybe to 45.
And it's the first ever movie that's going to start where we left off. There's not going to be any time lapse.
Yeah, because, I mean, you look at Episode 4 and 5. Episode 4 you end
There's about
after the Battle of Yavin.
2 or 3 years after.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
I mean, you're starting completely, it's starting when, you know...
Right when you're going to hear Luke say...
What he's supposed to say.
And then say something. Like, you could be saying, oh crap, I forgot to pay child support. Oh no. But,
that'd be tough.
You know, I, like going back, I pray and hope that she is his daughter. But, going away from that, what do you think about Adam Driver's talking about Ryan Johnson and stuff like that.
I actually think for him it's more of a publicity stunt more than him actually thinking it's dark. I think everyone knows it's already going to be darker just because the evidence is already there. They're going to follow the original trilogy a little bit. So everyone's going to assume episode 8's going to be like episode 5. I think it's actually to hype people up more because he is the antagonist, and it's kind of like saying, yeah, this is going to be the movie to see this upcoming Christmas season. Going on with that, yeah, we already talked about the Force Awakens Blu-ray. Go get it, guys. It's only $24.99. Seriously, that's a bargain.
It's got a lot of good stuff in it.
You got a documentary about how they made the film. It's 4 parts. You got an hour each of content. You got interviews with Daisy Ridley,
John Boyega, Adam Driver, Peter Mayhew,
and J.J. Abrams. Who doesn't like Abrams?
And they've got the table read, which I thought was very, very interesting.
Yeah. So now we're gonna kind of do a new little segment I'm gonna call Lucas's Corner with comic books. He is your comic book guy. What do you got for us this week?
So there were quite a bit of comics that came out when we were on this hiatus of not doing videos.
It's about 2
weeks.
Yeah.
We had Anakin Obi-Wan, The Adventures of Anakin and Obi-Wan, and they're back in. It's picking up. I like the way that they're foreshadowing of everything that happens in the prequels and how he's starting to doubt the Jedi Order.
Right. This is like when he's training. Right. He's still like a Padawan.
He's a Padawan. This is about 2 or 3 years
after. So he's like 13.
Yeah, he's 13.
So he's a teenager.
5 or 6 years away from episode 2.
He's 10 years old in Phantom Menace. That's confirmed. Okay.
Yep. Okay. And they're just going through, and they're with the 2 people on that planet, on this planet that literally it's a graveyard. This place is just a graveyard, and he's struggling with trusting people. He's struggling with trying to figure out how to use the Force correctly. Like, he's just learning all this stuff, and then on the opposite side, Obi-Wan's really secretly kind of like, hey, this kid could be the chosen one, and you see how they can clash sometimes as they do in episode 2, like at the beginning when he's like, you will find your place, young one, and then Anakin doesn't want to follow that role. He wants to move off.
Right, and then you see in episode 3 where he's pissed that he isn't. He's
on
obviously he's on the council. He's powerful enough to be on the council, and they just don't
trust him.
He's too young and all that stuff. So yeah, that makes sense because like Anakin, that's kind of what pushes him over the edge because he knows he's more powerful, and everyone does, but no one trusts him because they're like, how can you have all this power but you're not wise at all?
Yeah,
because you don't have experience.
And okay, so that was that for Obi-Wan Anakin, and we just got the first issue of Poe Dameron.
If you guys don't know who Poe is pretty much your Han Solo badass guy. I actually was disappointed we didn't see him a lot in episode 7, but he's the pilot that lends the jacket. You know, he's like that's my jacket.
He's awesome, and this picks up where it kind of answered the crawl in episode 7 of how he gets to his mission. He has to find Lor Santeca. Lor Santeca? I think that's how I say it.
Yeah.
But he's looking for him, and this is his adventure to find him. And he ends up going out and finding this planet. They find like he's been to, I can't remember the planet, but it's like they have a hologram.
What's this planet like? Describe it.
It's very like it's mountainy. It's mountainy, and he has to get all of these. Like Leia talks to him. He's like, we can't let the First Order get to him first, and so he takes off, and he has to get a team together, and they're called Black Squadron, and it's almost all the people that you see in the movie, really. Right. Snap Wexley, the guy that says that he I'm here, and then he dies, and he's the alien, and all those guys are forming Black Squadron. So you first see him in the first couple pages, like flying around on this planet, and then he has to get through this short, like doors are closing, like huge doors, like giant doors are closing. He barely makes it through, and he lands on this inhabitants that has a huge, like, orb-looking thing, kind of like an egg. And he goes up to inspect it, and the locals come and attack him. And he's just like, I'm not trying to hurt you, blah, blah, blah. And then he shows them Laura Santeca, and they're like, yeah, he was here a long time ago, and we taught him our ways and all of this other stuff. And he tries to tell them, and Poe tries to tell them that he's on their side, and they just won't have it. So, I mean, he's trying to get to them and all this stuff, so he has to pull out his gun, and then everything turns to shit when the Black Squadron, who is outside the base flying around, finds that the First Order is already on that planet. And that's where it ends. So the next issue is probably going to come out within another month or so. And I loved Poe, the Poe comic. It replaces the Kanan comic, which was excellent, which was really good. So, what else for my corner? Video games. We just got a little bit of taste of what Battlefront is going to come out with this summer.
Which, if you guys don't know, Battlefront actually is coming soon. I think it's like, isn't it the Death Star one?
The Death Star is in the fall, and Bespin is in June.
Right.
Actually.
So even though you have all these new movies coming out, Battlefront's continually going to be coming out with updates and stuff. So I mean,
it's going to be awesome. You guys got to look for it. This new update is going to have new star cards, new abilities, new weapons, it's just everything, and new characters. I don't really like. I mean, they need to put in Chewie. They gotta put in Chewie sometime.
Guys,
they have to.
I swear to you, about 6 months ago, like when the game came out, I was like, if Chewie's not in this game, I'm gonna strangle someone.
Yeah, Chewie. Who doesn't like Chewbacca, man? So I mean, you gotta put him in there. You have to. It's Chew fucking Baka.
Yeah, dude, guys, he is like honestly, he's gotta be like he's top. He's up there, like as.
But I mean, I really do like the pick for the good side though, Lando. You gotta have that pimp guy. He's gonna be, like, slaying, like, shooting people down with, like, his, he's Lando fucking Calrissian, man. He's a player. He's awesome. I love Lando. The only thing I didn't like about Lando was, at the end of Episode 5, he tried to take over Solo's getup, which was kind of weird. And he was on Leia, so,
I mean, who wouldn't have a princess?
But, I mean, and then they added the one guy, Tal guy, I'll call him, Dengar. I mean, seriously?
You were saying earlier you wanted Bosk.
I wanted Bosk. He looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah. You guys know who Bosk is? He's part of that reptilian species that kind of like a half.
They're hunters.
And they're like which watch
in the Clone Wars.
That's actually a really good episode.
He's in that.
By the way, some announcements about Vaders Fist. I'm about 2.5 weeks away from the end of the semester, and that means I'm just working. So basically, probably the weekends I'll be open most of the time. We're gonna do. We're eventually gonna do a whole saga. Well, probably not episode 1, but
we're gonna be
We're gonna do like a commentary thing, maybe potentially over the Clone Wars eventually.
Eventually over the Clone Wars, but we're definitely gonna get
movies this summer. Where we have all our buddies.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
And those are gonna be kind of like and I think we should do the last battle scene of episode 1 as well. Just because I mean.
But where it's gonna be,
that's like where we're gonna have our buddies and stuff.
We're gonna talk about it and and say what we enjoyed about it as the movie is going on, so that you guys can watch with us and enjoy our commentary, hopefully.
Which I mean, who doesn't enjoy our commentary?
But I mean, it's our council, our Vaders Fist, our Legion is going to be bigger this summer. We have about 4 or 5 guys that are thinking about joining us on this
guys.
Panel.
This summer, all of our buddies, they go around school in the area around Nebraska where we're at, and we'll be all together this summer. So I mean, why not? We're gonna give you guys a lot of content. Please don't forget to subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, which is always in in the description.
Sith Council video. My Twitter handle is LordVader2123, and then you can follow him at #_Polos.
Yeah, guys, leave your guys comments. My biggest pet peeve is I see we have like a great turnout last video. We had over 100 views, but we still aren't getting any comments. We're starting to get some of those subs. I really want to hear what you guys say. I mean, I don't care if you're 5 or you're 25.
If you like the video, leave the comment.
Or give us some likes.
Give us something that we know that we're not just boring you guys. Right. We like feedback. Feedback helps us become better at what we're doing right now.
Right, because guys, we've only been doing this for about 4 months. We really don't know what we're doing. Actually, we're just talking in front of a camera.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing.
Two guys having a hobby, talking about Star Wars. I don't know. I'm pretty much done. Anything else for you?
No, but as always, may the Force be with you. Always.